Welcome. You're listening to the 27th Hour with Junior
and Dre Rocker.
Get ready, strap in, and hang on.
Hey, welcome to the club. Okay, we're on the right track. Like, so you good? You guys find the game? I don't know.
Welcome back to the show.
Indeed. It's Saturday. You're not getting this on Saturday, June 5th, but today is Saturday, June 5th, and it's midnight as I speak to you. Fine people, we have a bonus episode coming at you guys. I think it's going to be pretty incredible. I had a life-altering experience today. Life, what is life, right? Lessons we learn and we teach and we live and we do and we whatever, we do our thing. But there's some times in life where certain things hit you hard that you remember, right? So I had one of those pivotal moments today that I will never forget. June 5th, like I said, we're in Utah, West Point, Utah. It's 109 goddamn degrees outside today. And I run the tattoo shop. If somebody doesn't know out there, we run a tattoo shop here. So we have a really nice facility. Air conditioner's been giving us problems lately. It took a full-on shit today. So here I am, my poor life, right? My sad, unfulfilled, perfect life that I live. I'm bitching all day and moaning and complaining about how fucking hot I am, how my air conditioner doesn't work, how the guy that put it in this or the guy that did that this, or blaming anything other than exactly what the fuck the problem is, and that's me complaining about a single thing when I truly don't believe I have much merit to do so. When you find yourself complaining about anything at all, stop. I had to do this. It hit me hard, and I want to share it, and I'm vulnerable like I am to the world. So if you're fucking complaining, stop and think about it for a second. Really look at it. Is it a big fucking deal or not? Probably not. I'll lay the rest of the day out for you. Air conditioner went out about, I don't know, midday, some shit, right when it got hot. When we needed it, that's when it went out. It's fine. It's fine. And boy, we quickly got to, I would say about 90, 95, close to 100 degrees in the studio today. It's ridiculous up there. And I had a couple of really trooper clients, that frequent clients that come all the time, that roughed it out with me, man. Alex and Mikey, thanks guys for coming today and putting up with this bullshit. This is all just a rant about my air conditioner not working, and this is all going to make a lot of sense in a minute. So hang on, peoples, please. As I get done with these guys, I tell the wife, I'm pissed, I'm so aggravated, and I'm so like it's everybody's fault that my fucking air conditioner doesn't work, that I'm going to get in the shower, I'm ready to die because I'm sweating to death. And I'm tattooing this, and I'm that, just complaining, man. It's horse shit, complaining. And I went and got in the shower, got out of the shower, come back up. For those that don't know, oftentimes I don't know who the client is on purpose. The wife doesn't usually tell me. She's sitting here, but I'm telling a story. She doesn't tell me who these people are on purpose because I kind of don't want to know. I like the surprise. I like to fresh. I like it real. She's told me about who was coming previous, but I forget quickly because she knows it's not relevant to what I do, and it makes me, I stumble on it. Oh, it's this guy. So they just show up. She says, you have a 7 o'clock appointment coming. I'm like, God, are you fucking serious? I'm hot. I'm miserable. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I've been working all fucking day. Blah, 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 blah. If this is you, listen to yourself, right? She's like, you have one more client. And they drove from California. And I totally had forgotten about that piece of that puzzle, how ignorantly of me to do so. How open I am about it to say it to you people. I feel horrible about what I did. So this is how I get things out, and it's how I work through them. So these beautiful people, we will announce them soon, come into my studio, and I knew right away, I knew the story, but I didn't know the story, right? I hadn't met them yet. I met his brother previous. When you think you got problems, just hang on a second and really look at things. what you think is a problem is probably not a fucking big deal. And that's what slapped me upside the face, in my opinion, in perspective. When you truly have problems and you struggle and life is really hard, really fucking hard, like life and death hard, cutting your body pieces apart and taking things in and out of you, and you're in hospitals all the time, that's fucking hard. Not your goddamn air conditioner going out. So it was my reality at that point, and I feel stupid for bitching about it all day like I did, so I apologize. But you people are beautiful, and it humbled me quickly as you walked through that door, and I really centered what the fuck my brain is. And it hit me hard, man, and it really floored me. So you taught me a valuable lesson that I needed to learn, that I already know every rule about. That's the problem. You can learn these lessons in books and read them. I teach this shit. I teach it. I teach people not to do what I just did. Until it hits you like that, it's not even effective. It's like, learn to drive a car in a book all you want to. Get in the car. Fun shit changes, right? You guys come through that door, and I was like, and we talked, we did, it changed me, man. I was like, holy shit, Junior, calm the fuck down. Way dramatic on my part. It's just how I am. But thank you guys so much for coming, and I can't wait to tell your story. We do an intro at the start, so you'll hear your intro at the start of everything. So we'll just start right into your beautiful story. Thank you for driving clear from California to come to Highline Tattoo on some crazy circumstances. This story's beautiful. You guys have forever changed my life. I already knew your story. I knew your story. I know your brother. I know him well. You don't know it until you live it, right? And being with you, touching you, working with you, that's what changes me. So that was very powerful to me. I wanted everybody to hear that out loud, and yeah, open clowny as I am. How are you guys doing?
Good. Doing good.
Who we got sitting with us today?
We got Preston Christiansen and Michelle Nijst.
And that's your mother?
Yes.
You guys drove from California.
Yeah.
Yep.
So here I am being ignorant up there again. I'm just open to everybody. I'm like, so you guys flew clear to here to get a tattoo? She's like, no, we drove. I was like, holy fuck, that's worse. I'm so humbled to have you guys. Thank you so much. That's what I'm getting at.
Well, thank you for having us. Thanks for taking us at 7 o'clock when your air conditioner wasn't working.
Thanks for coming. I don't even know why you did. I would have left. My little stinky ass I would have walked it. I probably wouldn't have, but no. I'm truly embarrassed. Everything I've worked so hard for, and that's happened twice now. I'm so over it. Like, we can't have that again. It gets hot up there. Yeah. Tell us your story. Do you want to just where you grew up and all that stuff, and just kind of go from the top, man? Where did you grow up at? Where did you grow up at?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I was born in Lander, Wyoming.
Get that damn microphone close to your pretty face.
All right, so I was born in Lander, Wyoming. Lived in Lander, Wyoming till I was 2-ish.
How many people are in Lander nowadays?
I think it was wasn't it like 5,000 when we were there last summer?
Yeah,
is it that many?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It's teeny.
It was like 5,200 or something.
Lander's cool.
Yeah, I love Lander.
Okay, so you're born and raised in Lander.
Yeah, well, I was born there and lived there till I was 2.5, and then I moved to Green River, Wyoming. Lived there till I was 12.
It's a nice place.
Yeah. And then moved to all places, Hemet, California. Lived there for a year, and then I moved to Marietta, California, because my parents had a house built there. And that's when that city was like just building.
Southern.
Yeah.
Is that Southern Cali?
Yeah, Southern. And then I lived there for a little bit, and then after that, it just took off. I was like in 12 different high schools. I lived a lot of places.
Why? What started that? What triggered all the moving?
Well, my dad worked for Peter Kiewit, so he was the equipment superintendent. So anytime like a new job would start, he would have to go supervise it.
He's the welder?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, that's why. I wasn't a military brat. Even though he was in the military, he was out.
That's where I was going to go, too. That's funny. So you moved everywhere, man. You got a little spice all over.
Yeah.
So you got settled down. You found a spot.
Yeah. I mean, I lived in Georgia for 17 years. That was the longest. This is going out.
Slide closer to it.
I don't know what I'm doing. Okay.
Slide your chair up.
You're not close
right
enough.
close. Yeah.
Okay.
And you can slide right to the edge of the table, too. It's all good. It's just a damn stupid podcast.
All about talking, but
it's
it
just,
doesn't
just
matter
be
if you can't talk.
yeah, just so real. It's cool. It's no problem.
So I ended up in Georgia after I graduated, and then married, had Chandler and Preston. They're amazing. Do it all over again.
Absolutely. Cool kids.
Little bit of, domesticness. Won't go into that story.
Yeah, copy.
Yeah. So, but we got out of it, and then we moved to Utah.
How oldish? Like,
I was 9 when we moved to Utah.
okay.
Chandler was 13. So moved to.
He's the oldest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we moved from Georgia to Utah. And so we're in Utah, and I'm beyond happy for the first time in a long time. And so are the boys. Like,
Coming to
they
Utah?
have never seen mountains. Like, they've seen rolling
there's like
hills.
Stone Mountain.
Was that
but
the
that's
trigger
not a
that
mountain.
made you love it? It's like, oh, it's so pretty, like that?
Yeah.
Well,
Because
I
Georgia
knew.
is fucking gorgeous.
Well, it is, but
it
it's
is
rolling
in
hills.
its own way.
Different,
but
right?
when you're in there for so long, it's just like
It's real.
It's kind of boring.
Yeah.
And it's humid, and it's so green, though.
Yeah, I love the green. I love the trees. Like, but I don't like the fact that every time you go out in the woods, you have to go back and you have to check
Ticks
make sure
and
you don't have
chiggers
ticks and
and-
chiggers and yeah.
Yeah, I don't like
Jesus,
that.
yeah, that's
No.
bad.
Yeah.
You can't run through the forest. Don't run.
No, you
No.
can't.
You'll die.
You have chiggers all over you.
Surprised we didn't
The
get bit
bushes will
by a
grab you.
snake.
So you come to Utah. So you come over that hill. What are you like? Oh my, what is?
When they seen the
Yep.
Rockies, they were like mesmerized.
Isn't it
like when we
beautiful?
were in
So
like, I think they were in Colorado or something.
That's cool.
And then when we went through Wyoming and the mountains there, they were just like, holy cow.
There's nothing like the West, man. I love
There
it over
isn't.
here.
There really isn't. And I knew what they were going to see because I was from here. You know, I was from Wyoming. I've gone to Utah a lot. So it's like I knew what they were going to be seeing. So
It does
Yeah.
get a lot gnarlier than Wyoming for mountains.
no, my heart's there, like Utah, Wyoming. That's where my heart is. But
But you still say y'all.
yes, I did.
Yep.
Love that.
Ironically,
Can I so start saying it? Like, is it
Yeah.
a thing if I say that?
You can say it.
You can say it.
I can.
Just
can
don't
I?
try to say it. Say it.
Okay, y'all.
There you go.
There you go.
I swore up and down when I moved there, I was never gonna say it,
You could still hear it.
and I did.
I can't yet. Well, obviously, you were probably too young
Yeah.
to grab any of it, much of it. You can hear it in your voice for sure.
It's weird.
I
I
love it.
had such a bad accent when I
Yeah.
got here. Everybody like, I love your accent. I'd be like,
What
I don't have an
I
accent.
can hear a little bit of that, actually.
Yeah. It changes. It's
That's cool.
weird. It's.
Yeah.
I've been away too long, so I'm like, I'm kind of glad though because when you go back and you
Hold this
see,
up closer.
yeah, you go
There you
back
go.
and you see everybody,
Yeah.
and then you hear how they talk, and you're like, I was like that.
Yeah, it's the law of familiarity. It's a real thing. You become like what you're around.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
So choose your people wisely, right?
did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you come to Utah, you found it.
Yeah.
You're alone at this point, or did you
Well,
remarry?
I mean, we moved with my parents,
Oh, okay, okay.
so we moved here, and then I got a job right away. Was excited about that. I got a job in Sandy, and we lived in Lehigh, but then from Lehigh we moved to Clinton, and then my parents decided to have a house built here, and so at the time I didn't have a car, so I was taking the front runner, the tracks, and the bus, and then walking up like a hill like this in my heels
Uphill and snow
Yeah.
both ways.
until I could,
That
say-
shit's like New York, bro. It's like transit. You don't drive
oh my
anyway.
gosh.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it
that
was literally
sucked.
like that. But I did it, and I saved my money and got a car, and like me and the boys, we were starting over, and it was like so refreshing.
So were you living with your parents then, with the kids? Okay.
Yeah. So that was happening, and then I took them to Yellowstone for the first time in September, and they were like, "Holy cow!"
That shit's crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we had to sleep in the car the first night, and it was
Yes.
freezing. We were like, "Ugh."
You have a goddamn heater in your car?
yeah. But you can't leave it on the whole time.
Like run it the
Get
whole time.
asphyxiated, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was an adventure, and
That's
then
cool.
so that was in September, and then in November, here we are in November 2015, and my brother Jeff, my oldest brother, he was killed on Thanksgiving Day in a car accident.
Oh my god.
So that was like that was horrible.
Somebody hit him, kind of just.
No,
Nah,
he
black ice or
hydroplaned.
something like that.
No, he hydroplaned. It was rain.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So that was, and he
sorry.
wasn't buckled. So, and he was like 2 minutes from his house.
Oh,
That was
dude, they
awful.
say most accidents are within 5 of your
Yep.
house. It's weird.
Yep.
Yep.
So that happened in dramatic, very trauma, very emotional, awful. It was awful.
Older brother?
Oldest brother, yeah. And so that happened, and then so we're healing, trying to, you
Yeah.
know, Warren, get over that. Try to.
So why not slap you one more time while you're trying
Yep.
to.
Yeah.
And then Christmas Day, month and 1 day after my brother dies.
Christmas Eve.
Well, yeah, I guess so. That was Christmas Eve, yeah. so Christmas Eve, but I didn't find out until Christmas Day.
That's true.
So Christmas Eve, I take Preston to the emergency room. Because
What's the story before that? What even happened to lead up
Tell
to that?
your
So
story.
before
That is beautiful to me. It's so intense.
So after we moved here, while we were adjusting, I had kind of breathing issues. So like if I would try to run, I would be out of breath in like maybe like a few seconds after I started.
Well, yeah, you're from Georgia, right?
Yeah. And so I thought I was just, getting
Elevation.
used to the higher altitude, climate and everything. And so what my grandparents and my mom, they started noticing later on that I wasn't eating much. I ate maybe half of a pancake in the morning before going to school, when I used to eat one or two.
Right.
So it was a drastic change, and I just started looking different. And my stomach, it was really big. It looked like I was pregnant, and it was really hard too. It wasn't soft. It's not like, you push it and, you can feel the rolls. It's like
Rock.
you touch it and you're you can bounce something off of there. It's like shooting a wall or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that night, Christmas Eve, we had family over and we were eating dinner. And I think we were opening a present each before Christmas Day happened. And so we were there and I just wasn't feeling good. I was sick. My stomach hurt and I was just felt like I was going to throw up. So I did. And it was just clear. There was nothing. It was just clear. And I was like, well, that doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
And my mom, she takes me to McKD, which is Intermountain. And we get there and they do some scans and stuff. And then while I'm asleep, the doctor, I'll let you tell this part because I was asleep.
So you go to the hospital with stomach pain.
Yeah.
Okay, let's figure this out.
So, before we head there, because it's Christmas Eve and you know how crazy it is, how the emergency
God.
rooms, and you only want to go when it's an emergency. So you're always second guessing yourself. So,
I'm yeah, we got a little stomach thing. We'll just get some shit, clear this up.
yeah,
We're good.
is it constipation?
Yeah.
What is it?
I had an appendicitis.
Dehydration, all
Yeah.
these things.
Yeah. So, my husband now, but he was my boyfriend at the time. He was like, why don't you call your insurance company? Because there's always a nurse line, that you can talk to through your insurance company. And he was like, why don't you tell the symptoms and see if it's warranted, if you should still go to the emergency room. So we called, told the symptoms, and so based off the symptoms that we were giving, she was like, yeah, he might have appendicitis, but it could be mono. And he could have had mono for a while. And when that happens, when you have mono for a while, I guess your organs start to hard up, get hardened.
Really?
So, yeah,
Yep.
weird. Very weird. Never heard that before. So
Stagnant blood.
here I'm freaking out, thinking my son's had mono for a long time and everything's hardening up, and that's why his stomach's the way it is. So we drive, to McKady Hospital in
Ogden.
yeah. And so we get there and bringing him in, and they took one look at Preston and they got him right back. We didn't have to wait. I filled out the paperwork in his room. They have him a private room and everything.
They seen him. They're like, come here.
Yeah. And see what it is when I look back on
Did that
it.
scare the shit out of you, bro?
Yeah, I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, it scared me because then I knew it was
Damn,
serious.
this is unbelievable.
Yeah. I knew then for sure it was serious. I didn't think what we found out it was, but I knew something was, if they
Yeah.
could take a look at him. So what it is when you're with someone on a daily basis, you don't see the changes,
Right.
And I look back at the pictures at Preston, holy crap. I can see the changes now. You could see the signs. He wasn't eating, but he looked like he was bloated, but he was in the stomach, but you could see his collarbone starting to stick out. You can see his face starting to get skinnier, and it's but you're with them every day.
It's the law of familiarity again.
and you
It's real.
don't see it.
It's real.
And you tear yourself up about it as a mom or as a parent, and you're like, damn it, how did I not catch this? How did it get to this extreme and me not know that there's something
So
wrong?
stopping there, do you remember before ever noticing weird shit happening, or was it just kind of quick?
At first,
was
when I look
hiding
back, I was like,
Oh, see?
dang, I really did not feel good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Don't
I
tell
was
anybody.
I thought this was kind of normal, you know? But
Well, no. I mean, he did, but then I found
But you don't want to shit on everyone's parade. I get that.
Yeah.
And he didn't. And he
Yeah.
was trying to protect me. He didn't want to freak
Yeah.
me out. So while I was at work, he was grabbing my iPad and Googling his symptoms.
Not this kid.
Didn't even know he was I had no clue he was doing that.
gotta
He
find
was
it out.
Googling-
He's a smart little bugger.
Yeah, he was Googling his stomach pains, why he can't breathe. And I found this out after we were told what was going on. And, you know, because he didn't eat for a while. Like, I didn't even know he stopped eating school lunches.
So how long before, because I think this is very valuable information, I think, like, how long before were you feeling stuff and like, I wonder what's going on with me? Is it before you went and this happened?
Probably for about 2 months.
Yeah.
October.
Couple months.
About 2 months, yeah.
Fast. Holy shit, that's fast.
Yeah.
To notice something. Okay. So you're in there, you go back.
So we go in, and they get him into a room, and that's where I fill out the paperwork, and then they immediately get him in and do an x-ray. Then they do an MRI, and then they are waiting on the ultrasound machine, so then they do the ultrasound machine. Doctor was probably gone, like, from all the tests. Like, the whole time, it was probably about maybe 3 hours. Not gone, like, it took about 3 hours to get, like, some answers. And so then the doctor pulls me out, and I'll never, ever, ever, like, you ever seen, like, those movies, like, where you see, like, a patient in their like, gown and those white halls?
Oh.
That's what it was.
We've
It
had
was
one
like
of these.
White hall.
Oh, I
That's
hate that.
all I remember, and how, like, eerie it was. And then I'll never forget the doctor. Like, the look on his face because of what he's seen, you know, from the tests and the scans and the images. And I had no idea in a million, trillion, billion years that I was going to hear what I was going to hear. And so we were standing against the nurse's station, and he was like, "You have a really sick kid." And I was like, "Okay." And then he just goes, "Your son has a large mass growing in his abdomen that looks to be cancerous." And I'm like, I couldn't even compute it. I was like, what do you mean a mass? And he's like, a tumor. And I'm like, I just was speechless, and I'm like, okay. And then he brought me, like, Preston was like in this room, and like the nurse's station was like right across, like a few steps outside of his door. And then to the right was another room that was
God,
full
you can
with
still
glass.
see it, can't you?
Yeah, like it was yesterday. And so he takes me in there, and it's all glass, and I can still see Preston sleeping. And he looked like I saw in the picture, and he looks like an angel, you know, like just, innocent, you know. And so takes me in there, and he pulls up the scans, and then he shows me the mass. And I'm just like blown away, and I'm like, I cannot believe this is happening. So he's like, what we're going to do is we have to get him over to primary children's. He's like, I can put him in an ambulance, or you can drive him. Are you okay? Are you well enough? Are you like okay to drive him? And I was like, yeah. I looked at Preston, and he was sleeping, and he was so peaceful, and he had no idea what he was going to hear.
So you drove him?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I couldn't put him in an ambulance.
That's gangster.
And scare the crap out of him.
Damn.
I knew I was stable enough, and
You're
like,
badass, bro. That's cool.
I didn't want to freak him out.
I don't think I could do it.
Well, he's never been in an ambulance before, and you know, putting a kid, you know.
Moms are fucking so tough. You guys are crazy tough, by the way.
For real.
I would trip. Anyway, I'm not trying to interrupt, but I want to catch this so good.
But it's like, there's just no way I could have put him in an ambulance, you know. Not that that's bad. It's not.
No, but
to
that's
scare
just
the
tough,
crap out of him, and he's
Yeah.
innocent, you know, he's a baby. I mean, yeah, he's 10, but he's my baby. No, you know.
I think the right call's to drive him there, but I'd be tripping the whole time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you'd be like,
Yeah.
hold
I'd end up in Spanish Fork, like, fuck, I passed the hospital. Like, that would be my,
Right, tunnel
you know.
vision.
Where's Waldo?
Moms, you guys are intense, man.
Yeah.
You guys are cool. Moms
Yeah.
are cool.
I mean, I knew I just told myself in my brain, I'm like, I have to do this. Like,
So what'd you tell him?
so I was contemplating, I'm like, should I tell him before we find out? Like, what if it really isn't? Like, maybe it's not. I mean, you're just like having all these conversations in your brain. And like the first call I made was to my parents. You know, of course they're waiting, and they're thinking the same thing we were thinking when we left. Possible mono, possible appendicitis. They didn't know. And then of course they didn't go with us because I didn't want to take Chandler that late at night. Wanted him to stay home. So I called them, and of course, you know, they had been sleeping, and my dad answers the phone, and at this time I'm not crying yet because I'm like in a state of shock. And then I hear my dad answer the phone, and I just like lost it. Like, I was like, Dad, they're saying Preston has a mass, and it looks cancerous. And my dad, backstep couple, he'd already lost his mom to cancer. Literally took care of her for almost 8 months, and he watched her suffer and die from cancer. And then after that, his sister, his only sister, because his other sister died when she was 2. She got boiling water, and she died from it. And he was like, He was 3.5, and he watched his sister. I mean, he
Boiling water killed?
Yeah.
She went in shock like
Oh
months
my
later.
God.
Yeah. So she
Okay,
was-
this is a wrap. Get out of here. You guys are scaring the shit out of me. Yeah.
So
Wow,
it's like,
God,
I mean,
dude.
so much, he's gone through so much, especially
Yes.
with cancer, because he lost his sister, you know, to cancer, I think it was 2 years after his mom died. And it was the same exact cancer. So then.
Then your brother, was that?
Yeah. And then my brother died in a car accident on Thanksgiving Day. But before that, he lost his 2 brothers, one to, I think it was prostate cancer, and then the other one brain cancer in
Yeah.
2015. So here we are in 2015, you know, a couple months after his other brother had died from brain cancer, and then his first brother died from prostate cancer in May of 2015. So it's like cancer, 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 you know. And so I'm telling my dad this, and I was like, they're saying it's cancer. And he's like, shut up, Michelle, that's not funny. I'm like, Dad, I'm not being funny. I'm being serious. I was like, I'm dead serious. This is what they're telling me. So, and my mom's like, and he just couldn't talk. Like, he just choked up. He couldn't, you know, because I can imagine what was going through his mind, because he already watched his mother suffer the way she did. And so he gives the phone to my mom, and I was like, Mom, I was like, we have to go to Primary Children's. It's in Salt Lake City. I'm driving Preston there. Can you meet us there? And can you bring Chandler? Because I didn't want, like, at this time, I'm like, I want my babies, both of them with me.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because if we're going to go through this, you know, we're going through it together.
So was he hearing you and awake with all that? Or
No, he was still asleep. Okay. I was outside of his room. And so then my mom's like, okay, we'll get him up, you know. So it's like 1 o'clock in the morning at this time, roundabout. And then right after that, I called my brother that lives in Georgia still. And I call him, and he's my only older brother. I mean, I have a little brother, but my other older brother was dead. So called Michael and Elisa and told them what was going on. And they were like, I mean, they felt helpless because they're all the way in Georgia. So I told them, and I told them we'll update them as soon as we find out anything. And then I go into the room, and I wake Preston up, and I tell him, I was like, all right, we're going to go to Primary Children's, you know. And I'm trying, at this point, of course, I was crying when I was talking to my brother and talking to my parents, but I dried it up, you know, trying, like, he can hear my voice is shaky, so he knows he's not dumb,
Yeah.
you know.
for sure.
But I didn't want to, like, freak out on him. I wanted to be, like, the stable mom, sane mom. Don't, you know, be all
Which you are.
emotional. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so I told him, I was like, we're going to Primary Children's. They have to do some more tests, and you need to be in a children's hospital. So I don't even remember how we got into the car. I think we walked out. I don't think they wheelchaired us to the door. I don't even remember that part. That part's foggy. And so all I remember is we're in the car and we're driving, and I'm trying my best not to cry, because then emotion just come over me again, because I look in the rearview mirror and I can see him, and he's so innocent, so
I was
young.
sitting up front.
No, you weren't. You were in the back.
I was up front.
Okay, well, I think you were in the back, but anyways.
I was literally up front, because when you told me that it looks to be a mass and that's why we were going, I was looking at you and I was like, well, it's probably not that. It's probably just the appendicitis or just the mono, trying to, like, talk her down, because I could tell she was, like, about to flip out at one point. I was like, yeah, well, I ain't trying to die sooner, you know?
Protect your babies, man.
Yeah.
That's a
Well,
thing.
I remember, because I
Wow.
thought he was laying down because he was still tired, but I could be wrong.
No, I was in the front.
Okay.
I remember that vividly.
Okay, so, but all I remember is how beautiful it was, because you know how the Utah skies are. And it just started snowing, like these huge snowflakes, and then the moon. And it was just a beautiful night. Like, it was so peaceful. And then I got, like, this peaceful feeling over me. And how in the world that happened, I don't know. Maybe I had to have it to get us to there so I wouldn't be all emotional. And, of course, I was still, but I just had this, like, peaceful feeling. I can't ever explain it. I don't know what happened. So I was driving, and then that's when he's like, he just straight up asked me. He's like, all right, Mom, what's wrong? He's like, what's going on? He's like, I can tell something's wrong, and you're not telling me. So I was like, well, they're saying that you have a mass that's in your abdomen that looks to be cancerous. And he goes, I ain't got cancer. Just like that. I mean, that's Preston. And I was like, yeah. And I'm like, well, that's why we're going. We have to do some more tests just to find out what it is and what's going on. So, you know, when I told him that, of course, my voice breaks and I start to cry a little, because I'm just like thinking cancer. You know, I know what it could be. And cancer is just not a word you ever want to hear with any of your loved ones, even strangers. You wouldn't ever wish that on a stranger. So we get to the hospital and we go into the emergency room. That's where they have us go in at. And then they put us in this one room. And at this time, it's like 2-ish, about 2-ish. And then we're in there, and Preston's still tired, so he's laying down. Then my parents get there, and, all of us are in this one room just waiting. And basically what they were doing is that they transferred all the scans over for them, the oncology team, to go over the scans and to confirm, yeah, it's cancer, before they put you on the floor. So it was about 4 o'clock, and they did confirm it is cancer. They don't know what kind, so they have to do a biopsy. So then they put us on the 4th floor in primary children's, which is oncology unit, which is cancer. It's a cancer and transplant unit. So we get up there and we get into the room, and I'll never forget the room. And all you see when you go in the door is this huge, long whiteboard, and it says, "Welcome, Preston, Merry Christmas." And on this table, they have
a bunch of gifts,
like a ton,
Really?
on the table, and below the table,
From
so many.
the hospital?
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's cool.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
Yeah, that
More
can soften
gifts,
the mood
yeah.
just a tick for the kid anyway. He's like,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
I was
For
like,
just a minute.
let's go.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
wild. Okay,
they
cool.
I can only imagine what the nurses and doctors were thinking. They're having this kid come in on Christmas Day
God.
with cancer, and it's Christmas when it was supposed to be the happiest time in the world for the kids.
And all those beautiful people showed up to help.
Yes, they did.
At that early. That's cool, man.
Yeah, they did. They really went above and beyond. And then this is even the better part, in this horrible nightmare, that his doctor, it wasn't his doctor, she was actually a
My
fellow.
nurse.
No, it wasn't your nurse. Dr. Iglesias.
Oh.
So she was still
okay.
getting her, I don't remember what it's called, but she was still doing
Credential.
her fellowship.
Yeah.
And, most of them, they're learning, and so they don't have time. They do spend time with the patient, but they don't have time to really spend time with the patient.
I thought she was hot. I was like, yo.
She's probably a PA then, just right there.
Mhm. She's really pretty. She is really pretty. But she just took right Preston. And instead of doing, going to each patient, doing whatever she needs to do, she literally, while the main doctor was talking to me outside the room, she was sitting on the bed with his brother and him, opening Christmas presents with him, trying to make Christmas special for him. And it's that has stayed with me. We still have a relationship. She's moved to New York, and she's at MSKCC, which is the cancer, one of the main ones in Manhattan. And it's just, she is amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. And I love primary children's. Holy crap.
Dude, they're amazing people.
They really are.
That's great.
And I can tell you, every time that Preston was going there doing treatments, he's like, I don't get it. It's this feeling it's the worst crap ever that you're going through. But as you're walking in, you just get this peaceful feeling over you, even though you're going through
You're I'm going
terrible
home
shit.
type of thing.
Yeah.
When you've been away for
It's
so
a weird
long,
building.
It's kind
The-
of weird.
Yeah.
The building itself kind of brings that.
Yeah.
It does.
And then the piano there is awesome.
That's cool.
When I learned how to play piano and we went back, I was like,
The
I
damn,
was still learning. I was like,
those stairs and elevator thing piss me off.
Yeah.
It only because they only go so far or whatever, and you have to ride the elevator.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
get stuck. I got stuck there for quite a while waiting.
Oh, no.
But anyway, so the Christmas morning, when did they say we need to get this out now?
Well, so they confirmed that it was cancer, and then they had to set up for a biopsy. So he didn't end up having his biopsy till the 27th. So so they could find out what kind it was. And then on the 20th, he had it, and I think on the 29th, if I'm not mistaken, is when they told us what kind of cancer it was. So, mind you, yeah, he has cancer. So you're thinking, okay, it's treatable,
you hear about
You-
leukemia and stuff all the time.
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
It's-
well, St. Jude and stuff. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, it seems like they can fight that really good. And then you
Yeah.
just get there and you're like, never heard of that.
Oh, it was
So-
a funky thing then.
Yeah, so then they pulled me, they didn't him, because, he had the biopsy and he's on oxygen now. Can't breathe because his lungs are being crushed because of the size of the tumor that's in him. And I talked to the surgeon when we're waiting for Preston to come out from his biopsy, and this is what the surgeon said. So we're thinking it's one large mass, and it's not. The first one, they said, is the size of,
Cantaloupe.
a cantaloupe. The second one, I guess, a grapefruit, and
Yeah.
then the third one is a little bit bigger than an orange. Like
At first, we just thought it was like a big old watermelon
it
in
was-
me
Dude,
that we could
that's
just
like-
take out.
But it's big.
yeah,
if it's all together.
It was huge. It was huge. So it was like it was basically like this, and then like this, and like this.
They were all together.
Yeah.
Oh my
But they
Plus,
weren't-
there's like the pearls and stuff. Like
Yeah.
they said, there's like pearls across like my chest or whatever.
yeah,
good lord.
Yeah.
yeah, and so
15 fucking years old. What's going
well,
on?
he was 10 at this time.
Oh, you were 10. You're
Yeah.
15 now. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So
I'm so sorry.
it's
okay.
good.
That's so young.
Yeah. So then the surgeon's like, so he was explaining it, and he's like, "You're sick." He goes, "I'm not gonna lie to you. Your son is really sick." I mean, he looked like, I mean, he didn't say it, but he looked like he'd never seen anything like this, you know, which we find out later, basically he hasn't, you know, because it is rare cancer, you know. So he said, he told me the sizes of them, and then he says there was 427, 487 little cancer nodules.
Like
throughout-
small ones.
like little tiny tumors throughout the rest of his abdomen. And he says it's like grabbing a dandelion and blowing it in. And that's where it's scattered all over. So I was just like, oh my gosh, you know. So then they have to do the report and everything. So that was on the 27th. So I think it was the 29th is when the doctors brought me in to this private parent room. They take you in there, and it was my mom and my dad came in with me. And then that's when they told us, you know, your son has cancer. It's called DSRCT. Well, they said the full name.
Desmoplastic small round cell tumor.
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah, it's a mouthful.
Yeah, I never heard
I
that
learned
one.
that at 10. I was like,
Yeah, you ain't
whoa.
going to forget that.
I never learned this in English class.
Yeah.
No. So we shorten it DSRCT.
How common was it at that point?
200 cases in the world.
Dear God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now more people are getting it because here we are.
Yeah, it's
5 years
probably like
later.
closer to like maybe like 400 or something like that.
Yeah. I think it's like 200 a year now.
With no cancer, nobody knows anything about it, but just mutating cells, they don't know like
They have
any
no
kind
idea.
of an
What they
angle at all.
they basically said that a cell in his body just decided to go bad.
And bad it did.
So they don't really
Whenever
know.
your body decides to not like yourself, you're
Yeah, fuck cancer.
like, whoa.
Yes. So that
So they say we're gonna get this out.
Well, at that time, no, because not only did he have large tumors growing in his body, but the vessels that were feeding it were the size of the surgeon's hands, like his fingers. They were that thick, and they were worried about Preston bleeding out and dying from trying to remove it.
They had their own ecosystem in there, for God's sake.
Yep.
Yeah.
It,
It
was
was-
like
it
a
was-
whole habitat built for
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
to flourish.
Yeah. So they told us the statistics. He had basically a 15% survival rate. They said long term. Well, they said short term 3.5 years, long term 8 years is his survival rate with DSRCT. So I'm just like, so you're basically telling me my son's gonna die. So yeah, that was still.
What do you do then? How do you even think from right there? How do you even go?
When he told me that, I was like, I was
God.
numb.
Yeah,
Like
bro.
I didn't even know. I mean, I just started crying, and it's like not just not loud, not ugly cry, just tears, just like the worst sadness a person can ever feel, because it's your son, it's your child, you know. So yeah, I just listened, and I know I recorded it because I knew I wasn't gonna be able to remember everything he was telling me. So that's what they said, and they said that they're going to come up with a treatment plan. And then they did tell us that they can't do surgery yet because of the size. They have to try and shrink it first before they can remove it, if it's even an option to remove it. At this point, it wasn't.
And he still doesn't know anything.
And they had to staple his stomach back. Like the surgeon had like the hardest time closing back up because how massive it was.
I've seen that scar, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, it was little at this point. It was like maybe like that long.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got hella scars, man.
Yeah, he does.
Heck yeah.
Okay, I'm
Now I
trying-
got another one.
I'm trying not to get in there. I love all these.
No.
It's just insane story.
Yeah. So that happened, and so then I don't really remember when they came up with the treatment plan. It wasn't that much longer. So we started chemo like immediately when they finally came up with the plan that they're going to do. And we decided not to do the oncology team decided not to do the hot chemo. That's very, very common with DSRCT. They do.
Without chemo, he is gone. He's dead fast.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, like
Really
maybe a couple months or
'Cause it's
maybe
just
like 5
growing so
at
rapidly.
most.
Oh yeah, it takes over your body.
So you had basically you had to do that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I already couldn't breathe at that point on my own, so I'm like,
No, he's on
I'm just trying to
oxygen.
go there.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So they have a procedure where I think it's called HEPIC.
yeah.
I think it's called HEPIC, and it's where when they give you the chemo and stuff, and then when you go in to have the surgery, they put in what's called hot chemo.
The
They
hot-
put
yeah,
it
the
in
hot chemo.
the abdomen. But the doctors said that there's no really evidence that really cures it or causes it to stay
Does
in remission.
anything any more than just normal chemo. It doesn't
Right.
really do anything else.
And they
Normal
were,
chemo. You say as if is it like, is it an injection?
chemo. No,
What
it's
is
IV.
chemo?
It's
It
IV.
is, yeah, that's what that's what I meant.
injection.
So there's like so many
Okay.
different kinds of chemo. Like I didn't even know. When you hear chemo,
Yeah,
you're
dude.
thinking it's all the same. No. There's like with his treatment plan, the first one, he was on 4 different types of chemos, and
But they're all intravenous.
all in
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
through the vein.
Well, they do it through his port.
Gotcha.
He had to have a
Couldn't
port put
really
in.
take any pills or
Like a
anything
pig
because
farm or something.
I was like, can barely eat at this point, and wait, I don't even think I could
What?
eat because I have
When
like the
when
feeding
was he
tube.
told though? When was you told? Do you remember when they?
Oh, as soon as I found out, like
Yep.
I
You
went
just
in.
walked
She
in.
just came back in and told me, and I was like delirious at this point. I don't even really remember this
Well,
this
what
whole
he's-
time, honestly.
What he said to me is like I sat on the edge of the bed, and I just told him, and he just looked at me. Of course I'm like crying, not like crying, but tears are coming like in my eyes and stuff. And he's like, "Mom, don't get so sentimental. I'm not gonna die." And that was Preston. Like he was
What a
just like,
fucking stud.
yeah, he was like,
Heck
"I'm
yeah.
not gonna die."
And what happened? There
He
you go.
didn't
I don't
die.
have cancer. Cancer
Say
caught
that.
me.
That's right.
So
That's
yeah,
so crazy.
yeah. I mean,
So there's
he
two
was the-
things in the world. There's the hardest thing ever, right? I would imagine that one, and what else? Dying. Like what the hell? I can't even get in my head where you were at telling him that. I don't know if I could.
Well, I
It's-
always
it's-
felt like I can't,
insane,
like
man.
I can protect him, but I can't protect him from the truth.
Yeah.
Like the truth is always going to come out no matter what. And for me, I'm like, I can't lie to my kid. He's 10. He's not. And even if he was younger, I think I would try to explain it to him, and I would still tell him the truth. You can't.
That's
for
why he's a
me,
fighter. Look at him.
You
Like
just can't. You just have to tell him straight up what's going
Yeah.
on and deal with it
I
together.
ran Fight Club back in like Georgia. Neighborhood
Look,
kids. We'd
it's
meet
real.
up. Next thing you know, I'm fighting something different, not a person.
if you would have been raised any other way, it wouldn't be you, obviously. But the way you raised this kid, I think, has a lot to do with why he's standing right there, sitting right there. 100%. He's a stud. He's healthy. He's happy. He's supported. Fuck, he's
Yeah.
not scared. He knows his mom's right there.
Oh yeah,
That's
she like
solid.
gave up
That's
everything.
so
she
solid.
worked from the hospital, and if
You
they
worked
didn't
from the
al-
hospital?
yeah, the work luckily allowed her. But even if they weren't going to allow her, she was just going to stay there. She wasn't going to leave me,
No.
like because you see a lot of kids, they don't have their parents there and stuff, and you see how hard it is. And she was like, "Yeah, I'm going to be there as much as possible as I can when he's going through that."
Yeah.
What was
It
you
was
working?
sad.
Just doing computer stuff? They allowed
Well,
you?
I mean, I worked for Academy Mortgage, and as soon as they heard I'd only been working with them for like 7 months.
That's cool.
And so they transferred me to I was a CSR, and they transferred me to appraisal review. And so that made it possible to where I didn't have to actually like talk with people. I could do it on the back end and help the review side of their
Kudos to
appraisals.
those guys, man. That's
Oh,
really
yeah.
cool.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
That's way cool. See, there's beautiful people out there somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I really think that we were led here for a reason, and that's how I met my husband. Their dad is through Academy Mortgage. He's an appraiser, and he was our client, and he lived in California. And yeah.
In your town, even? That'd be weird.
In
Yes,
Hemet,
in
yes.
Hemet,
Close.
where I moved when I was
Literally
12 for the first
the
time.
same place. Like
Oh,
you can
wow.
drive like
Yeah.
maybe like 10, 20 minutes to our old house.
Yeah.
So what's our next move? So they've built you a plan. Mm-hmm. And we're gonna do this, and so you start.
Yeah, so we started immediately. Like they were thinking, okay, we'll do the 1 week because you have to do 5 days of chemo, and then if your counts aren't 0, you can go home. So they were thinking, oh, he's only going to be in the hospital for like a week. No, we had a lot of interesting things happen, and he was in the hospital for a month.
Yeah, when we first
And-
got there, a month straight after we first went in.
Yep.
And I don't really remember that month because I was on some stuff. Like,
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
It was awful. It was so many things happened to him. Like it is brutal. But basically the treatment plan was they were going to do 2 treatments two full rounds, which is basically you do 2 weeks. Like you do a week of chemo, and then you take 2 weeks off for your counts to build back up, and then you do another round.
Blood cell count, right?
Yeah, white blood cells, red blood cells.
They're looking
It's
for
mainly
those.
the white blood cells because once they get to a certain point, like
You're
cuts and
neutropenic.
stuff, like
So it's-
won't clot.
Correct me if I'm wrong. They're poisoning you
Yep.
and then
Yep.
waiting for your body to build more cells.
Yep.
It's like, I'm going to kill your body. Now go ahead, grow. Kill your
Yeah.
body, grow. Like, is that as simple as it gets? Is damn near what they're doing.
Yeah, and the terrible thing is they can't control
crazy.
with chemo. Like it kills all the cells. They
Yeah.
can't.
Yep.
They can't target it. to
Kills
just
the
kill
good and the
cancer.
bad.
Yeah.
That's why you lose your hair.
Yeah.
Some people think that the cancer is what makes you lose your hair, but no, it's the chemo and the treatments and stuff.
Yeah. Even radiation, you can lose hair.
So
Crazy
chemo's
as that.
got to be something that is strong enough to attack that, but not totally kill you the way they regimen it out or whatever. It's
Yeah.
amazing. They even
That's why
work.
they have
Some
to
of them are
launch.
even
crazy.
some of the chemos are like even worse than what I was on.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
holy crap, when you see people going through them and they have to be on like certain steroids and stuff, they just don't look like the same person at all.
So
No,
sad.
that's
Like
brain
they
cancer.
swell up and all
It's
that,
awful.
and yeah, it's just crazy.
I think it's called dig. Something like
God
that. One's
damn.
terrible. Changes the whole kid, like what the child looks like. The brain cancer one does.
Mhm.
It's awful.
And it changes their
And there's
personality.
no cure for that one either. It's just like I remember like seeing the St. Jude commercials, and it's like I always donated to it, but you don't realize. And it's crazy when I became like an advocate for Preston. Like, you hear all about these adult cancer, and they have all the treatments that they have created one treatment that's actually targeted for children. The rest are all
Adults.
adult treatments that they do on adults that they do on these kids.
There's only like 10% of funding goes towards child
4%.
research, but they take the stuff
Oh, you're
that they
talking
use
funding.
on a full-grown person, and they use that on like a 4-year-old
Okay.
child.
or a baby.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So I didn't realize, that there wasn't.
And they've already lived their lives. They didn't get to, go to prom or like, marry somebody, have kids. Like they're at the point to where they're old most of the time. They're usually in the like 60s.
Not that we're going to belittle it or anything. It's just like you think the government would make it like the federal,
Yeah.
how they fund it, because they do 4%, and that's why you see a kid like that hashtag more than 4.
Oh
Because it's 4% and then 90.
So how about an honest question then?
Yeah.
Is it, when you donate to that, is it really doing that?
For St. Jude, yeah, St. Jude.
100%. Okay.
Yeah,
From my
St. Jude is
understanding-
the child.
Yeah.
That's
So-
basically where all the funding goes to.
It
I
does.
mean,
So they
for,
do.
for
That's
their
good.
hospital, I don't know exactly how far that extends to, but I know that any families that go to St. Jude, which we've never gone, but they don't pay anything. Like
Wow.
it's covered 100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's a thing.
Yeah.
I see. I wouldn't even know. That's why I want to put this out. I think
Yeah.
this is so incredible to know what's happening.
Well, right now, like with, because there's not enough awareness. Like you see breast cancer awareness. Do you see childhood cancer awareness? It's in September.
Amazon just did it last year
Yeah.
with the trucks.
What?
I looked out my window when I was doing school, and I was like, "Yo!"
Yeah, they finally.
And what
put-
happens with awareness? We start to solve the problem. It's
Exactly.
like, let's
Yeah.
talk about these things.
More
Don't
people
hide-
go into
don't
that
hide it.
field and all that stuff. They start trying to find new
Research.
different ways
Yeah.
and all that.
That's why I wanted to do this so badly. I think it's important.
Yeah.
I do. I think it's,
Yeah. It is. It's
people
like
would be like, oh, I heard that podcast one time. Let's try that. Or some, I don't know.
it's come a long way. Like it really has. I mean, not nearly as far as we need it to go, but at least, like with Amazon, they finally have the childhood cancer ribbon on their trucks in the whole month of September, so it's amazing that it's getting there. It's going to take a while, but it's just like, as a parent, you're like, what the hell? These are our kids. These are kids, and you don't have awareness for cancer for them, but you do for an adult. And I'm like saying that the adults aren't just as, they're just as worthy, and they're just as good. Yes, they're human, but these are our babies. They depend on us. We're supposed to be taking care of
The
them.
world
How
won't
are
continue
we-
without new children.
How are we
Human
failing
race dies
them?
out.
Yeah, there comes a time when that's a very simple order to follow.
It's insane. It's
You're
like,
stronger. Continue. Here's the torch, man. It's very simple.
we're adults. We're supposed to be taking care of them.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so backwards. I'm like completely baffled by it. But, I mean, you can't, I mean, you do get angry, especially when you're told there's no cure. What do you mean there's no cure?
Terminal.
Yeah, terminal. So it sucks. But
Not
I've seen-
the airport terminal.
Did you ever for one second believe what was going on? Like, did it ever hit you like, holy shit? Or were you always just chilling like,
Not really. I
No,
was just
cool,
like,
I got
yo, I got this. Like, this ain't gonna be me. I'm like in that mindset of like, yeah, I'm gonna make it to like my 18th birthday type of thing. Like, yeah, I'm
You're
gonna
going
I'm gonna
further
get
than
through
that.
this. I'm not gonna be like the statistic. I'm not gonna be like a number on a page. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna make it through this.
how
This
much
isn't gonna
of
define me.
how much of what's happened to you do you think is derived from that right there?
A lot of stuff.
100%.
Because it's crazy. Because like it reaches people that you didn't even know whenever they hear about it, and you're like, you don't even know these people, and that yet they're like focused on you so much. Like, it's just crazy.
I mean, your mindset though. You're just saying this ain't me,
Yeah.
man. That is, I think,
Yeah.
100% of the root of it. And where did you get that from? You.
Yep.
It's so easy. Like, see what I want people to hear this. Like,
Well,
that's so real. Like,
and they do
you can
tell
do
you that.
things. We're okay. Let's fight. Let's help. Let's.
Yeah. And like they even tell you to like not let your child get away with stuff if they have that. Like to still treat them like a normal child.
Meaning,
Yeah.
what do you mean?
Like don't like
The
make
cancer
sure you
card.
don't have them in trouble and stuff. Like don't let them play the cancer card. Like, oh, I got cancer, and what, you're gonna ground me for that and stuff. Like
The
they say,
hospitals?
still
Yeah.
treat them like a normal
Still be their
child.
parent.
Let them be an actual person that grows and matures and doesn't have this thing to use as a crutch, you know. And you still use it in certain situations.
Oh,
of
he
course.
will.
Hell,
sometimes.
parking? Come on. No.
Heck
But
yeah,
that's
I'm like,
real.
I'm
Like,
technically disabled. You know?
if I treat you like a 2-year-old, you will act like a fucking 2-year-old.
Yep.
Right.
Right? If
Right.
you're dominant over, they'll be.
If you act like a cancer kid, a sick,
And then you got
kid,
cancer.
you're sick, and you're not gonna be positive, and you're not
Yeah.
gonna live life to its fullest. You
and
know?
and
Focused
you also,
attention.
it's also like you kind of don't feel normal out in society because of how the way that they treat you, and then from the way that they treat you, you act different.
Who's they? What do you mean?
They, as in people, the people.
Not in the hospital? You mean just out in the
No,
world?
just
the
out
world.
in the world.
Because
Like
you look different or what?
it's not only just from the look different. It's just your whole mentality changes whenever you get it,
Okay.
unless you're like me, and you're like, yeah, that's cool. I have this, but you know, that's not me. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm not defined by that. That's
Hell yeah.
the cancer isn't called Preston. It's called cancer. You know.
I thought you meant other people to you. I didn't mean it.
Oh, no,
I
no.
misunderstood that.
No.
That's dope, dude. That's cool.
Sometimes he'll use it though, like when he doesn't want to do something. Then
Do
I'm
people say
School.
ignorant shit? Is that a thing?
Oh yes, for real.
like,
Like
sometimes.
sometimes people will be
Unbelievable.
like, oh yeah, I had like a stomach bug, or I got like, I don't even know. They'll be like, yeah, I had that. I kind of understand what you're going through. Oh, I had to drink the same drink that you drank. I'm like, what?
Preston, walk everybody through how is cancer. If you drink off of this and I drink off that, Preston, am I going to get that?
Yeah, that's what people think, but no.
Unbelievably.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be like, it's not contagious,
Awareness.
right? And you're like, well, no, it's in my body and it's growing from my cells. It's not like it's out in the world like a
Not
vine of a
contagious.
tree.
So
Yeah.
I'm in my studio bitching about 100 degrees. You loved it, by the way.
Yes, it felt nice. I get cold easily.
Yeah, he does.
And that's all I was trying to bring around is like, man, really think. Are we okay here? Or really, Junior? Go in your other house where there's another air conditioner and relax, bud. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe that was the world telling us it needed to be warm today for him. Because I freeze too. So
Heck yeah.
usually
boat.
usually our tattoo shop's freezing. That's why I have a
love it
blanket
cold up
warmer.
there. It's good for.
You're like,
bacteria.
hold up. This
Well,
isn't for you.
hospitals
This is for me.
Yeah.
That's why
Definitely.
hospitals are always kept cold. It's
Yeah.
a bacteria thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I like it freezing up there. But this was just an amazing shift for me of like I said, you can drive the car all you want in the manual. Like I almost did a
Like the
helicopter
video
thing
game.
a long time ago with a PDF thing, and you can
Yeah.
download. You can, unless you're there, you don't know anything about anything, and it's like this was just real, man. I thought it was. I'm really glad you guys would take a minute and help throw this out.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
for
we
sure.
appreciate
So where are we at with it now? Where you how you
Well,
doing?
So
It's
at
been
this
a journey.
point,
You don't have to talk about any of it if you
yeah,
don't want to.
fine.
no, it's fine. So at this point, I've had 12 surgeries.
No.
No. I thought it was 12. I thought we just had my 12th surgery.
You know what's funny? Neither one of you ever get pissed off when the other one corrects the other one. I think that's so cool, man.
No, you were at 7
You guys
with
are cool.
Michael. And
Oh,
then you got
yeah,
your
that's
8th
right.
with the liver.
Wait,
and
but
it's your
I'm
9th.
I'm counting like things like a bowel obstruction and stuff,
No,
or like
that's counted
getting.
all those.
What about my port removal
Okay,
or
then,
port
all
placed
right, you
and
got
stuff?
me.
Yeah,
We have enough
I count
surgeries
that.
that we're arguing over how many surgeries.
enough times under anesthesia. You're like,
Does that end up not working at some point too?
No.
No.
That always works. Okay.
I
It's
guess
just
it
some
does.
people have like certain like problems with their
Yeah, they
body.
have
Like
to
my
watch it.
grandma, she has to have like a lot of calcium or whatever.
She doesn't deposit, like, her body, like, gets rid of calcium, so they have to
Wow.
give her some pre-med for
Yeah,
anesthesia.
God, those people are incredible.
Yeah, all the stuff they know.
it's crazy how they find that
Anyway,
out.
so
I'm
how
like,
many surgeries do you think you have?
Okay,
Okay.
so he might be right. It might be 12.
I
Because
thought it
of
was
the port.
12.
That's a lot of
So-
surgeries.
Yeah, so basically where we're at now, this started all in 2015, and he's fighting it for the 4th time. We just found out, like 4 months after he just finished fighting lung cancer. And right now that's stable. They couldn't remove one of the tumors there.
But it's
so
not
it's
growing,
gone.
and it's not alive anymore. It's
no,
dead. It's just laying there.
stable.
So what have we killed here? We've killed lung cancer. We kicked its ass. What else?
Well, the first one,
You
it
just
was,
got them stacked up.
well, the
Well,
first
the lung
one,
cancer is kind
Next.
of near my heart too.
Yeah.
It's like the valve that goes between your heart. It's like the
weird area, never happened.
pulmonary valve or whatever, like that,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
They've never seen DSRCT grow there before.
Yep. And that's why they couldn't.
There's
like,
a familiar
remove it.
word here that keeps reoccurring is they've never seen
Yeah.
Nope.
with this guy.
The rare.
They say stuff is rare. I'm like, that's
I am,
normal for
I
me.
am fucking rare. That's right.
Yeah,
you
that's what
are,
we
dude.
tell
You're
them
you're a
now.
very unique dude, man.
Oh, thank you.
You're a cool kid.
Like when they tell us like the treatment plans and like the side effects, like we just tell them like don't tell us the normal stuff. Tell us the rare shit that happens
Yeah.
because
That
that's what
happens.
happens to Preston. It's
Like this
insane.
last time, like I wasn't supposed to
to lose his
completely
hair.
lose my hair. I was just supposed to thin out.
thinning.
But not. That stuff said I'm gone. It just completely
I feel you, bro.
went and got and got.
Yeah, I think you look dope as hell.
Yeah, but it was good because like during this time it would also like grow back in between, so I'd have like a certain break and it would be there.
You had hella hair too, huh?
Oh man,
All you guys have hella hair. Your brother's hair is crazy.
Like whenever it first changed from like 2015, because like 2015 I had like super thick, luscious, wavy, dark hair that was just like beautiful. I love that stuff, but I did not love it in Georgia because the humidity and like when I'd ride like 4-wheelers and dirt bikes and stuff, I'd be like, oh my gosh, and and so then we get there and it changed my hair type a few times and the hair color too, and so like before the lung cancer, fighting that when my hair grew back, it was like it was thinner, but it was also like curlier too. So
curlier and
Yeah.
changes the color and
yeah.
everything.
So
That's-
like
That's
whenever
lighter
I'd get my
brown.
hair wet, it would be like kind of like my mom's.
Like wavy.
Yeah. It'd get like curls like right here. There'd be like
Your
curls
brother-
right here.
Your
and then
brother's
it'd
got
be
hella
like-
curly hair. I
Yeah,
know.
Oh my god. It wasn't like that down in the South when we moved, and then like through puberty and stuff, it changed his hair to like super curly. Like it was curly-ish,
Yeah,
but it
Chandler.
wasn't nearly like curly how it
It
is
got
now.
curlier.
How would it
Chandler's did.
be to go through puberty period for all of us, let alone be where you are, man? That's gnarly. Like what a
It's weird.
what a ride, man. You're a very unique human being, dude. That's why I feel like people that really have problems don't have problems. You had problems and you just blast through them, and you have this crazy outlook and happy and energetic, and there's not a somber tone or look in you. You're just chill. You're easy. You're happy.
Chilling.
It's really cool to see that, man. And I'd love to see why the fuck isn't everybody that's healthy and happy like that? It's really disgusting.
Yeah.
And it
It's-
shook me to the core.
pretty
Like,
weird.
yeah, you're hot, broom, little crybaby. Dude, that's bullshit.
No, I bitch
It hit
about
me hard.
hot all
But
the
then
time.
It hit
then
me
I have this
hard.
outlook, right?
Which
I-
I'm just
I
being
think
hard
I
on
don't
me
have to
because I'm like,
complain.
dude, come on.
Yeah.
You guys are incredible, man. That's I don't know what else there is even to say other than I knew your brother,
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
son. He grew up here for God's sake, damn near.
Pretty much.
That
yeah.
kid was here a lot. He still kind of is.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to go back to Utah just to see them.
I
And
miss
then
that little shit.
whenever we come down here, oh nope, I'm not gonna go.
He's a little booger.
I know we're all mad at him right now because
Little
not
shit.
I
Here.
hope he's hearing. You hear this, Chandler?
Yeah, Chandler.
Oh, he's
But
definitely going to
being
watch
around
this.
him and knowing the story isn't even knowing it at all until you meet, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I hear stories and all that, but when I get close to somebody, you guys you're welcome here anytime. You're friends for life.
Oh, for sure.
You guys are dope.
Ditto.
Not for nothing other than just you're cool people, man. And I wanted everybody to hear this story. It just rattled me for sure.
We appreciate it.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
What else did you get to? What else was next? You're just going. You just see what happens. You just keep
so
going.
right now, we did my recent scans and we found out that the lung cancer is like stable and it's not growing and stuff, and it doesn't light up to where like, because when they do the scans, it's like if it lights up to a certain point, then that's how they know that it's like growing still, because it's
Exactly.
metabolic activity. And so, but then they found out they saw a spot in my leg, and so I had to do 2 spots in my leg, and I had to do a
One in his femur and one in his
MRI.
wing bone.
Yeah.
And your wing bone is what
Support your spine.
your spine
On
and
your
the-
hip,
and the
right?
weight of your body. So yay. And it's like right by the ball joint. So really shitty area to be in.
But we caught it early, so that's good.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that it's not on the outside of the bone,
See?
but on the inside,
Listen to that.
because I don't have to do chemo. I only have to do radiation. So like,
Listen how
think
you
we're
talk.
hoping.
Listen
Yeah.
how you talk, dude. That is
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
I want people to feel that, man. You're like, at least it's not this or that.
yeah. Well, I
And
could
that's-
keep
Instead of
my
like,
hair.
I'm
You know.
fucked. You're just so, man, it's so cool.
Yeah, it's kind of superficial for me because I'm like, I gotta keep my hair. You know. And I'm like, hey.
It's nonchalant. Dude, you need to teach classes, man.
Oh yeah.
Like, you need to be up in that institute. You probably don't want to be down there. And helping
No, he
people like,
loves
hey,
Well,
check
I'm
this
actually gonna
out.
go into the medical field.
Yeah.
You should be,
I'm gonna start out as a nurse, and then like I can have the hospital pay for me to get higher up. So I'm like,
you need to be there and doing
yeah.
doing what you do and spreading whatever is in there.
yeah, because it's like I can actually understand what they're going through. So
Yeah, man, you know it
when
well.
I'm like working through that with them, I'm like, heck yeah,
Yeah.
that is gonna be a good, and it's also a demanding job. I'm not gonna lose work. Everybody gets hurt.
You go there though again. I love it.
Future plans.
I truly, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. With a person that works with people and their brains and trying to help them through weird things. You just have them. You're there. You're such a young kid. It's like,
I know.
it drives in my
They
point
call.
further.
They said I have like an old soul. Like,
Yep.
and it's weird because it basically makes you grow up faster, like mentally wise, like because you're there and you're in the hospital and you're not hanging around with friends at all. Like I missed like 2 years of school and stuff. Luckily, I didn't get held back because I'm smart. You know, I got the knowledge.
You're definitely intelligent. What's next, man? What is your plan?
Right now, it's just get through this. You know, just chill out. You know, got this tattoo. You know.
Hell yeah. You
Have some good times, you know, and go to the beach and show it off. Be like, hey, you don't have this yet, do you?
What? How do you wake up every day, man? Do you seriously just not? You just don't even think about it. You just roll.
I wake up whenever I'm not tired anymore.
You just roll. He just rolls, man.
Yeah. Hey, man, sleep is nice. Sleep is
See.
nice, but it's also nice to get out there during the day. So I'm like, hey, I gotta play some guitar today. I gotta watch some anime, you know.
Are you gonna drive?
Heck yeah. When we were on the way here, we were working on we were literally in the car. I had the laptop in my lap. We were working on the driver's ed stuff.
Hell, we just talked about that. Fuck that laptop. Let him drive.
I know.
Right.
Actually, I did contemplate it.
Yeah, she was sitting there
It
falling
was
asleep, and I'm
literally
wide awake. I'm
going
like,
through my
dude,
mind.
if
You
I
could
could
figure
drive
it.
right now.
Oh, you could drive. You can do anything you want, man. You have a unbelievable. I watched you go through some stuff up there, right?
Yeah.
And you can.
Sitting there trembling.
You're easy to talk to, and you listen, and you work, and because you've been through shit, so you're like, oh, I gotta listen to this guy. No, listen. You have that. Most people don't have that, man. I'm like, okay, now breathe, and you actually did it. Nobody has ever done that. They
Yeah.
fight me, and they're like, yeah.
I think
whatever.
it was this last time
was
whenever I was doing radiation. So they have like these scanners and stuff because they have to do like a body mold type of thing. And so you can't move from a certain position when they're doing it or else they'll get the wrong spot. They don't want to get the wrong
They
spot.
targeted.
And so you have to
radiation.
like breathe in the same exact amount as you did the last time. And so I got like a crazy good amount of control of my breathing now.
Wow.
And but it kind of sucked because I was up to like 120 pounds because of like the steroids and stuff, you know, and eating like popcorn and like chips and stuff when I just chilling in my room when I was at home. and it ended up burning my esophagus, so I couldn't really eat. Really, it just burnt.
Cause and
So now I'm down to like 105.
What burned you?
the radiation.
The radiation.
Oh, got
yeah,
it.
it's like a sunburn,
Yeah, on the inside.
but worse.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
it took a couple weeks to heal. Yeah.
Just something you breathe in? You just breathe this?
No,
Well,
it's like
it's a
the way
machine.
that it's kind of like a laser, and it like burns it through the
It's
skin.
like going into the tanning bed only.
Yeah, and I actually
worse.
got like a tan line from it on my
Yeah, you
chest.
do.
And my mom was like, "Hey, look at this." I'm like,
It's
"Whoa!"
the thing that goes across your body down. The
Yeah.
red
Yeah.
thing?
It's like a machine, yeah.
Oh my
You
God.
get in it, and they have you in this mold, and you have to like they tell you how to breathe like a certain way because they're doing targeted radiation.
They'll be like,
only in
breathe,
the area of the cancer.
hold it.
Somebody like that doesn't have any funding or help or St. Jude or anything, that sinks people forever. They're done.
Oh, it's unreal.
yeah.
Like
You're in that boat as well. You didn't
Well,
have any of the
I had
Jude
health
stuff.
insurance through my work with Academy Mortgage, but you pay your deductible, and you pay like his deductible was $5,000 just for him because it's single, and then it caps out at like $10,000 as a family.
Yeah.
So yeah, I still have a little bit of debt.
This guy's in the millions.
Well, I mean, I have great
Yep.
insurance now because we have what's
I'm
called
worth a lot.
Medi-Cal, and Medi-Cal is amazing. Like
Is that a
John-
private?
Zero
A
deductible.
private
Well, I
one?
mean,
or-
no, it's the state of California. It's like
Oh, oh.
Medicaid, but it's Medi-Cal.
Oh, got you.
And they cover every single thing Preston needs. Plus, he gets what's called CCS because he has a terminal illness. So, in the state of California, if you're covered for Medi-Cal, you're automatically approved for CCS if you have a terminal or life-threatening disease. And so, like, they don't even have to get referrals. Anything the doctor orders, it's done. You don't have to wait on a referral.
Yep.
So do you have to come back to Utah to do a lot of your work, or they work with you there?
No, all of
she works
with
from
Academy,
home.
yeah, I work from home.
I mean the doctor stuff.
No,
No,
we
we had
switched my
his-
doctors,
Yeah.
and then like whenever we found out that
CHLA.
Theo, my original doctor, I was like, when she moved, I was like,
I'm going
yeah,
with her.
there's not a lot of people there left. Like a lot of the nurses that I knew that I'd see all the time, they don't work there much anymore. Like one of my favorite nurses, he was like the first nurse there, and he played like Call of Duty the night before I had and we were sitting there playing Call of Duty the night before I had my biopsy, and yeah, we were playing zombies and stuff, and I was just, yeah, he kind of looks like Chandler too. He's like
Yeah, he
that
does.
surfer look, blonde hair,
Really?
all that, yeah. And he's actually a travel nurse, and his like wife, she was also one of my nurses at that hospital.
Dude, those connections are intense.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's got to be hard on those people too that work there. I can
Yeah.
imagine that'd be really rough to
It is.
watch you guys come and go and do your
Yeah.
thing and
It's-
wonder and no closure ever. No one.
They're the
word.
homies though.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. You keep in touch with them.
They're amazing souls. That's all I can say.
Got them on Instagram.
Hell yeah.
All of them are, even like
A lot of the girl nurses got married. It was kind of sad. I had
Well-
hope that I'd be able to.
It's coming quick, bud.
Yeah. Hey, it's okay.
we go to CHLA now, which is Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, and the
You drive clear to Los
4-hour
Angeles?
drive.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
like, dude,
well,
that's
we
a
live-
long
And it's only like 90
we
miles.
live in Hemet, and it's 90 miles, and sometimes it takes us 4 hours.
4 or 5 hours. Like we could
Sometimes.
drive to Vegas from our house.
We did
the
the
time.
405, 20 mile drive was 2 hours, period.
Insane.
Holy shit. 16
Yeah.
lanes of traffic. But it's
crazy.
beautiful down there.
Yeah.
I just sleep in the morning, and then in the afternoon I'm just sitting there like either watching anime or just listening
Yeah.
to music, chilling.
It's going home that takes forever. Getting there because
Yeah.
we leave so early. It's
It's
usually
like 3 hours.
Is home going to be there for now, I guess, where you're
Yeah.
at?
Oh,
Stay there.
yeah.
That's it.
we're not gonna move.
Yeah, because we have my little sister.
Yeah.
You know, her mom. Not gonna let her go away for sure.
No, they share custody.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they share custody, and my dad, he's not gonna leave his little daughter like to move somewhere else. Like,
To beautiful Utah?
yeah, they're planning
He
to
actually
retire
loves
here.
Utah. He would actually move here, but
Yeah. Plus, he also wants to get his like out of state appraiser's license because like in like Oregon or like Washington, you can like they're millionaires, and I'm like,
yeah, they bang.
yeah,
Or
you
market
should get
here.
some money, like good money, like.
The market here is unbelievable. I don't know
Yeah.
if you've heard all that, but
Oh,
it's not
it
even. It is the weirdest thing in history of Utah right now. Here. This house, I don't even want to
everywhere.
know what it's worth. It's ridiculous. But then you can't buy one.
No.
So why would you sell one? I don't get
Exactly.
this. Like
I
people
just said
are,
that to
sell
my
it, and I'm like,
parents today.
then
Yeah.
what?
They keep getting letters in the mail like, we can sell your house for this. I'm like, why would you do that when you'd have to buy another one for twice as much?
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah. Or you'd have to go to another state.
Exactly.
probably.
Well, no, even other states, it's everywhere.
Everywhere.
In Georgia, for like the price of like a small house here or like a small house in California.
Was. It's not like that anymore.
Well, it's basically you can still buy like a mansion, and it's
Yeah.
like basically the price of a normal house. And you're
yeah,
like,
it's about 500.
what the heck?
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Give me that real estate.
Did we cover your story? Did you feel like we got that?
Oh, yeah.
Everything's good?
Everything is good.
Everything is good because you make it good.
Oh yeah.
When do you
Mentality.
start your next treatment?
We find out.
We find out June 7th,
Monday.
and then the next day I get to go to my friend's birthday. Her birthday's a month before mine.
Show
June
off
8th.
your tattoo.
Oh yeah. She was like, oh, you with the tattoo, and then she sends the Simpsons dude, the eyebrows.
Yeah, what's his I forgot
Dang it.
his name.
Neil
Millhouse.
House, yes.
So you
I was
guys are
like,
getting up
hey.
in the morning and you're going to drive back.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Let him drive the whole way. He'll be fine.
I'm gonna
Catch a
sleep.
nap.
I'm gonna
If I
sleep the
wouldn't go
most
to
of the way.
jail for that, I would. Like, if we ever got caught, I would.
I got facial hair now.
Horrible
You
parenting
won't.
going
They
to
won't
jail.
notice.
You do have facial hair.
I just shaved too, like a few days ago.
Yeah, I had to shave your thing to put your tattoo on there on the side, bro.
Yeah, I don't like that.
You're coming alive, man.
Yeah.
You feel good, bro?
Heck yeah.
Or do you make yourself feel good?
I make myself feel good
You-
because it doesn't just happen. You got to do something to make that happen.
Yeah, you're that guy.
Yeah.
Everybody could learn from that for sure.
Oh yeah. Play some guitar. That'll lighten your whole mood.
You
Or
do play
some
guitar.
piano.
What about that? When did you start that?
So technically, I started learning in 2017, but I learned like one chord, and I was like, "Hey,
And you can flat out
this
play
is
it.
hard." And then
Pandemic
this
hit.
pandemic hit, and it was like I was going back and forth to the hospital. Like I was about to start, and I'm like, "Yo, why am I wasting my time playing like video games and stuff when I could learn something that by the time we get out of here, it'll actually impress people?" And so I'm like sitting there like 10 hours a day just playing some guitar. My hands are like bruised and like getting bloody, and I'm like, yo, this is good. And made some progress, and now I'm like working on bar chords like a year later. And when we went to Tennessee, there's a guy, his name's like Tallycaster, and he was like, he's only been playing for a year. I was like, I'm not that good yet.
Jimi Hendrix coming at you.
Oh yeah.
Are you right?
Willie Nelson.
There you, yeah, you're an old guy. You like the old stuff. I like that.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Are you right-handed, left-handed?
Right-handed.
You're right-handed guitar player.
But kind of ambidextrous, because like my left hand, it has like more grip strength and stuff, and I don't know, I have like more accuracy, I guess, with it. But like my right hand is like I write with
You're
that
dominant.
and everything.
You're just naturally talented and perfect at everything you touch.
Not even. I just got to work at it, you know. You got to
Yeah.
actually do it. You don't try and do it. You got to do it.
Oh, holla.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Mentality.
We have an infectious attitude, man.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's cool. I think
Yeah.
it's cool.
You got to lighten up the mood. You bring party with you.
That's right. It's not going to be there. You got to bring that shit for sure.
Heck yeah. You know, you can go to a party and be like dull as hell, you know, like people not even talking and stuff, and like just sitting there on their phone. And then you walk in, and then everybody just partying and dancing to music, and you're like, heck yeah. This is what it's supposed to be like. It's a party, not just chilling out. Like that's a different type of hangout.
And if they're not, you better bring it, huh? Make them do
Uh-huh.
it. How was your first tattoo experience? You dig it?
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
Cool.
Opened up my eyes for sure.
Experience does that. Huh? It's weird. There's a lot more
Definitely
coming,
not
bro.
a feeling. That's not a feeling that you experienced before. It's totally different.
Yeah, that's
How does a tattoo feel? Like a tattoo.
exactly like a tattoo.
Yep.
Sunburns, cat scratches, all these weird things. It's a tattoo.
What's your next tattoo?
I don't know. Probably either the bands around the arm or the rose coming from one of the scars.
Oh yeah.
And then probably when I get that one, I'll probably get like a zipper on like the big old like scar that goes across my stomach.
Mom's nodding. I wish Dre was here filming this. She's like, yeah, okay. God, he's crazy.
You do
Okay,
have
I'll
to
be
come-
18.
You have to come back when Drake can film.
Oh yeah.
You have to come back and do another podcast. Give us updates.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yes,
you're
for
you're of consent. You're legal in Utah anyway to be tattooed here, so
Yeah.
that's not even a thing.
Surprisingly, in California, you got to be 18. You can't even have consent. And I'm like, it's California. Like everything's legal there.
California. God bless California.
Whack as hell.
But it's great for that insurance thing. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what I
Perfect
want to hear is
insurance.
that stuff actually works and helps people that need it, not just people that are just freeloading like crazy on it.
Right.
That's sad to me.
Yeah.
That's why it's broken, right? Did we get it? Is that beautiful?
So,
Okay.
Beautiful talking to y'all.
Well, thanks for staying. It's 1 a.m.
That was
Doesn't even
long.
feel like it.
But in California, it's only
midnight,
12.
right?
I go to bed at like 3 a.m. over there. So when I'm here, I'm like, wait a second.
May as well.
Why? It's 3 a.m. here, but like it's 4 a.m. there. I'm
Dude,
like,
it's weird going to like Georgia, right? When
Oh,
it's
yeah.
3 hours. Oh,
like,
that's
like it set my brother on like a
That's
schedule. Like he'll wake up like
Yeah, he has
at
a
like
schedule
9
now.
and he'll go to bed at like 10 or 11. And but when I go there, I'm like I'm still the same when I go back. I messed up.
just go. Don't even worry about it. Did you have anything else, baby?
No.
Since I talked the whole time and you sat there and that's what I do.
No. I didn't need to talk. I wanted to hear his story.
Oh, thank you.
It's an intense story.
Yes.
So I was deeply moved by it for sure.
Yeah, write an autobiography or something. I don't know.
You should.
Start my own podcast.
You
should start your own
Get y'all-
podcast.
I'll get y'all on there.
Holla.
Yeah.
Talk on there.
I can help you out with it. Let me know.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good idea. Actually,
Yeah.
what the heck?
You should
You could do that.
in a second.
You don't need the studio for it.
I like
but you could
talking
do
to people.
I'll show you how to do it. It's really easy.
Got in trouble as a kid for talking to people. Now it helps me. Like,
Funny
what?
Funny how that works.
You guys did not help me punishing me for this
Certain
because
people-
it makes me succeed now.
That's what I talked about earlier. Certain people don't fit in boxes, and that's okay. Don't put them in a box, or they'll break out of it. Right? That makes it bad. That makes me be a bad kid when I was a kid. So maybe the same. Like we're acting out because we're not.
We're not like
we're pushing. We're like, man, we need more. Want more. That's not what I do. I do this. Like,
yeah, they
help that
normalize
kid.
stuff,
That's
but
a
like
good kid.
it's
He's
not
on-
normal.
He's on to something. Creative shit. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
It's important to watch that. That's why I said our system, I think, is super broken.
Yeah.
Just everybody learn this. Well, not everybody's like that.
No, everyone's different.
But how hard would that be to
You don't teach
individualize?
30 people how to tattoo at the same time.
You got a good memory, bro. I thought you said
Yeah.
your memory didn't work.
It doesn't work for like a couple years. Like in a couple years, I probably won't
You
remember
forget
that.
You nailed it, man. You nailed it.
No, you have a good memory. You
I have a
just-
good memory
it just-
whenever it's like I want to have it, but
Yep.
like I think it was like also like trauma and stuff at that time. Like I just didn't want to remember it, so I didn't.
That's crazy.
Kind of like when you tell people stuff and they didn't ask, you're not gonna really
See,
remember
it
it.
keeps going. It keeps getting me. I love it.
Heck yeah, great conversation.
That was a great conversation.
Oh,
You guys are
yeah.
great people.
Yes.
Thank you
Glad
so much
to.
for coming to get tattooed and come on the show.
Oh,
Thank you for having
us.
Because this wasn't planned. I'm like, hey, will you do a podcast with me?
Heck yeah.
Fucking midnight. I'm like, what? You guys are awesome.
I get to talk. Heck
I
yeah.
do not want to. I do not want to lose this. This is a beautiful story. You guys are cool people.
Thank you.
I want people to feel that. Well, I want people to feel what I feel in here, and this is how I do it.
Yeah.
So it's the easiest way to get it out. People feel what we're doing. Remember, people. Damn it. Thanks for listening to 27th Hour Podcast. The most important thing we do with our lives is what we do with our lives. Be good to each other. Love each other. Hugs and kisses.